Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve Codeforce's problem, maximal continuous rest. Before we start looking details of the problem and some examples and solution, I want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people who are preparing for coding interviews and Java interviews. On my channel, there are over 200 solved different varieties of coding problems which were taken from previously asked interview questions by big tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Yahoo, and many others. And those are from important coding problem varieties such as graph problems, dynamic programming, binary search tree related coding questions, binary search related coding questions, as well as BFS, DFS matrix related different coding problems. So if you are preparing for Java interview or coding interviews, then this channel can definitely help you in your Java J2E interview preparation. So please subscribe to the channel. So let's look at the maximal continuous rest problem. So each day in Berlin consists of n hours. Polycarp likes time management. That's why he has a fixed schedule for each day. It is a sequence A1 to AN. Each AI is either 0 or 1, where AI is equal to 0 if Polycarp works during ith hour of the day, and AI is equal to 1 if Polycarp is resting during ith hour. Days go on. Day go one after another endlessly, and Polycarp uses same schedule for each day. So what is the maximal number of continuous hours during which Polycarp rests? It is guaranteed that there is at least one working hour in a day. So the first line consists of n number of hours per day. So they have given us this, for example, 5 hours here for a day. And second line contains n integer numbers a1 to an, where ai is equal to 0 if ith hour of the day Polycarp is working, right, and it is 1 if Polycarp is resting here. So it is guaranteed that ai is equal to 0 for at least one I. So output is prints maximal number of continuous hours during which Polycarp rests. Remember that you should consider that days go one after another endlessly, and Polycarp uses the same schedule for each day. So let us take this first problem here. So as you can see, here they have mentioned that the answer is 2 for this one, right? Because what they are saying is this is for one day, right? This is one day 5 hours. So if we take the next day again, it will become like this, right, as I shown here, right? So this is the array that is given to us, right? This is the array that is given to us for one day, right? This is for one day. So next day again he follows the same schedule. The Polycarp follows same schedule. So again 10101. So 10101 for the next day, right? So if we join these 2 days, right? This is day 1, right? And this is day 2. So if we join these two days in an array, then you can see that the maximal continuous rest he can get is this one, right? This is the maximal continuous rest, which is 2, right? Because 1 is for rest and 0 is when he is working, right? So he will get rest like when we are like at the end of this day and at the beginning of this day. There are ones, so it will be 2. That's why 2 is the answer, and they have explained the same thing here. You see, like the maximal ray starts last hour and goes to the first hour of the next day. So we have to we have to consider that the days go one by one, right? So that's why we have to append one day and day 1 and day 2. So those are same schedule, right? He follows same schedule. So this is how it looks like, and that's how we will know like how much is the continuous maximum rest he can get, right? So in this case, right, there are other cases. So for example, if you look at this case, let's say, right, the second one. So second one, even if you join this array with the same array, then still the maximum we will get is 2, right? Here 1 is the maximum, so that is 2. Here if you have 7, even if we join this same array with this array, right, then still the maximum in the array will be these 3, right? So that's why we have to output 3. So maximum continuous ones we have to find basically, right? Because that is when he is resting. So this is the problem. And from this first example, I already explained you that what we will be doing to solve this problem is we will take the schedule that is given to us and we will append the same schedule with that original schedule, right? So for example, in this original example, let me just take it back. So this is the original array that is highlighted, is given to us. So we will append that array with the same array again for day 2, right? This is for day 1, this is for day 2. So our array will be of 2n size, right? Original array will be n size. So this is n size, this is n size again, right? So this is 2n size basically the array. And then we will create one DP array, right? So we are going to use dynamic programming to solve this problem, right? So we will create a DP array like this, and in the beginning all the values will be in the beginning, let's just take this example here so I can explain you. So 10101, so 10101, and then this again 10101, right? Because we are appending it with the same schedule for next day. So 10101, right? So what we will do is in the DP array, it will be 0 in the beginning, right? Everything will be 0 because array is initialized as 0, right? So when the first one we will initialize, if it is 1, then we will say 1 in the DP array. If it is 0, we will say 0. So in this case it is 1, right? So we will say 1. So we will traverse through this original array and we will fill our DP array accordingly, right? So as you can see, if it is 0, then he is going to get basically dp of I is equal to, right, dp of I minus 1, I minus 1. So let me just see here. So dp of dp of I is equal to dp of I minus 1 plus 1 we have to do, right? If it is 1, it will be plus 1 in case of 1, otherwise it will be just dp of I minus 1 in case of 0, right? As you can see here. So dp of 0 is 0 basically, right? So here it is 0, so we will just put 0 in the DP array. Here it is 1, so we will put 1 in the DP array, right? Because whenever it is 1, we will just use DP of I minus 1 plus 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1, right? Now again we are at 0. So 0 means 0 basically, DP array, right? 1 means this 0 plus 1, which is 1. This is another 1. So this 1 plus this 1, right? It becomes 2 here, right? In this case of 0, it becomes 0. In this case of 1, it becomes again 0 plus 1, which is 1. Here 0 means 0. 1 means 0 plus 1, again 1, right? So this is how we will create our DP array, right? This is the DP array. And then we will take the max from this DP array, right? So we will keep track of the maximum that we are getting in the DP array and we will return that as our answer. So and why this works is because why this logic works is because, for example, as you can see, if we are looking at this one, then if previous is 1, then we have to add one more to it, right? Because it is coming in sequence. So basically here if it is 1, then this is next one which is coming in sequence, right? So we have to add 1 into this basically, right? So we have to add 1 into this, then it becomes 2 basically, right? Like that. If it is 0, then we will just keep 0, right? Because for 0 he is working, right? So he will get 0 rest basically, right? That's why we have to keep 0 here. If he is resting, then it will be previous value plus 1, right? So previous value here will be 0 plus 1 is 1, and for the next one is previous value is 1 plus 1 is 2, right? So as you can see, this is how the dynamic programming works. So as let's just look at the example that's given to us, the first one that we looked, right? So first we will just this is the input and n is given to us. and then we will create one array which is n plus n because we want to double this, right? Because we want to combine 2 days to check, because sometimes the days will be on the boundary like this, right? So that's why we are combining the array. So just as I shown you here, so we are combining this array like, right, like this array we combined with again the same array we combined, right? So that is what we are doing here. So we will just go through 0 to n, and we will just do array of I is equal to input of I, and array of n minus I, right? N plus I. N is 5, so 5 plus 0, 5 plus 1 is 6, like that. Array of I basically, right? So it means that we will get a array like this basically after we are done, right? So we combine 2 days here and get this array, and then we created a dp array which is 2 into n, right? Because dp array and this array both are same size, both are 2n, and first value of dp0 we will initialize based on the array, right? If it array is 0, then dp0 is 0, otherwise dp0 is 1, right? And why this one is we are doing, because if he is dp, if array 0 is 0 means if he is working, then dp0 is also 0, right? Otherwise if he is resting, then dp0 is 1 basically, right? So that's why we will initialize this value, and after that we will just go through 1 to the end of this one, right? 1, we will start at 1, means this one basically, right? This one we already initialized, right? 0 or 1 based on this 1, right? And then we will start from this next, and we will go until the end with the original array, and we will fill the dp array, right, based on this logic that I explained you. So if it is 1, array of I is 1, then dp of I is dp of I minus 1 plus 1, right? Otherwise if it is 0, then dp of I is 0, and then we will keep track of maximum value that we have seen so far here, right? So dp of I is 0 means basically if he is working, then for that case dp of I will be 0 basically, right? This one if he is resting, right? If he is resting, the value is 1, so we have to take we have to add 1 into the previous value basically, right? That's what the dynamic programming works. So as you can see here, this value is 1, right? So 1 we added because 0 plus 1, right? So 0 plus 1 we added 1, right? Now again when 1 comes, then 1 plus 1 we have to add, right? Then it becomes 2. So here, right, as I've shown you here. So this is what we are doing here, and then at the end we will just return the maximum value that we have found, right? So that is the maximum amount of rest he can get. So let's just run this first example. So we should get 2 as our answer, which so we are getting 2 as our answer, which is correct one. I created another example here, so I wanted to show you that. So these are the 8 days, right? So these are the 8 hours for a day. So even so, let's just say like let's just take this one, and let's just go here in the whiteboard, and let me just take this one. I'll just paste it here, right? So I just want to show you this. So now we will again, now we will double it, right, for the next day. So I'm doubling it. So now this one is doubled, right? So now as you can see, these 4 are, these 2 plus 1 is 3 is consecutive, right here. So let's just run our code now. So 2 plus 1, right? So 3 will be there basically. So we are getting 3 as our answer, which is correct. As you can see here, as I showed you, so these are the 3 which are the maximum amount of rest he can get, right? So this is another example we have seen. So we have seen 2 examples. We can take this another example here. So I'll just copy this and just make sure that this also works with our logic. So 7 are total hours, and I'll just update this one here with the new array. So now as you can see, even after combining with 2 days, this is the maximum amount that we can get, right, which is 3. So we are getting 3. 3 is the correct answer, right? 3 is the correct answer here. So this is the way we can solve maximal continuous rest problem using dynamic programming and by combining the input array for one day with the next day, right? Because there might be boundary condition as they have shown in this example. If you haven't already looked into my channel's playlist, there is a Codeforces playlist where we solved a couple of Codeforces different problems, as well as there is another playlist called as LeetCode and LeetCode solutions, and there are over 200 solved coding problems asked by Amazon, Facebook, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Yahoo, and many others. And those coding important problems are taken from varieties such as graph problems, binary search tree problems, dynamic programming related interview questions, as well as BFS, DFS matrix problems and optimization problems as well. So if you are looking like preparing for Java interviews or coding interviews, this channel can definitely help you in your Java J2 interview preparation. So please subscribe to the channel. Your subscription is really important for the channel because that is the way the videos can reach to more people. They can also watch and understand how to approach different varieties of problems, coding problems in Java. What data structures of Java are useful to solve different coding problems. They can also learn from these videos because that is the goal of this channel, is to help people in their Java J2E interview and coding interviews preparation. If you find this video helpful and if you like it how it's been explained with examples and Java code, then please hit like and subscribe it and give it a like if you like this video, and also share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks for watching this video.